Get involved now. Be on the right side of history. Be on the side of good. Wear the white hat. This is your chance to be involved in human history.
You get in my face with that, I'll beat your goddamn ass, you son of a bitch. You piece of shit. You fucking goddamn fucker.
I have no idea what.
Oh, there's another one. Another plane just hit.
I have no idea what.
Oh, there's another one. Another plane just hit.
Behind bars here in New York City. He is facing sex trafficking charges. NBC News.
Have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. When we are successful, and we will be, and we will be.
We're live. Decide what side is back. How's it going, everybody? You know what the major news is. Cyber attacks are coming. Unavoidable. There's no way around it. They're pretty much announcing it in your face. Cyber attacks are coming. Mr. Wesley Boyd, how are you tonight?
Well, everybody doesn't. Everybody likes to think that we can live without computers and the internet. Well, we're about to find out how wrong we are anymore. Maybe this will teach everybody that maybe not everything in your house needs to be smart.
Yeah. I think
Maybe Amazon doesn't need to listen to you.
Obviously,
Maybe you need to get rid of all the Alexas and everything.
Yeah, when did personal computers came out? Like in the 90s, right? Like the good ones when they became
more or less.
When it started going
More or
mainstream.
less.
Then the internet came around, late 90s, started getting integrated everywhere, and now the internet has become such a big part of the world that it's just tied into everything. If the grid goes down, the whole system crashes. We need the internet, right? And it's just crazy when it's kind of like if you have a neighbor that keeps telling you, hey, somebody's gonna break into your house one day. It'd be a shame if somebody broke into your house and stole your DVD player with your favorite whatever.
Maybe you should pay me to watch your house, dude.
Yeah, and you're like, nah, I'll be all right. And then he keeps telling you this, and then one day, bam, you come home, your DVD player's not there. Some other stuff is missing. You know, that one sandwich gone. And
are you gonna go to that neighbor and be like, man, you were right? I mean, someone did break in. It must not have been you, though.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, yeah, that's true. And you know what? I can offer you a home security system for just $59.99 a month. That's pretty much what's happening here.
Except for right now, it would be more like he's like, no, I did break into your house, but it was for your own good. You needed less stuff. It's bad for the environment. And you know what? I stole it, but it was the right thing to do. And it was just, you're just kind of ignorant. You're a Trump supporter. You're a right winger. You're a free thinker. Not even a Trump supporter. Let's leave that out. You're a free thinker who likes to be an American. It's just better for you not to have DVDs, dude.
We know what's good for you.
Yeah. Now pay us money to protect you from the break-ins, except for when we do them. When we do them, we won't protect against them. But when anybody else tries, I mean, if they pay us enough money, we'll let them. But, it's a security system.
Yeah. That's pretty much the situation that's going on right now. And I don't know if you guys saw, but so there was Event 201, right? Which was like a simulation where supposedly the government
Yeah, everything that's happened with the pandemic just happened to happen in Event 201.
Yeah, this group
Weird.
of the rich billionaires from Harvard, the supposedly the smart people that should be shaping how the world runs, they just happened to simulate a coronavirus release that affected the whole world and led to a
Right.
slowdown of the world economy. They just
Right.
happened to predict it. Just like now
Well,
they're
Chris,
predicting
they're
cyber-
obviously smarter than you. Me and all of us. That's why they have money. That's why they're at the top. They're smarter. Obviously, that's how the world works, man. Just get over it and stop being so bitter. You know? It's
I
like
can't shake that paranoid feeling. But
it's like Hunter Biden. It's like Hunter. It's like, oh, how is it that you're like head of 3 major multi-billion-dollar corporations, and it's like you have no experience in any of them, and they're very, very different from one another. And then you get to sell your crack pipe blow art, for $500,000, and the White House helps you. But that's a different story for a different video. But it's just a microcosm of how these people who run things actually get to where they are. They get given positions and given all the fiat money in the world, and they act like they're financial geniuses. It's like Warren Buffett, the biggest recipient of the banker bailouts. So these people running this, Klaus Schwab and all that, he may be a super gopher, but he's just a pawn in the end. None of these people are all that intelligent.
yeah, no, I don't know who's running the game plan. I'm pretty sure it's not like it's Klaus Schwab. They've just been let in on the secrets. They've been let in on the club. They've been told, hey, this is what we're trying to do. This is the direction things are going. You can either join us and, you'll have power and influence and you'll have anything you want.
Right.
Men, women,
Think of
children.
Right.
Money.
Think of, if anybody's familiar with Cecil Rhodes and the Milner Group, Klaus Schwab is the new Cecil Rhodes. He is the front man. He is the out in front navigator of the New World Order system. They just don't call it the New World Order anymore. They used to call it the Illuminati, and now they're calling it the Great Reset and Build Back Better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so pretty much, let me get to what happened. Today we had this happen. District Council declares Germany's first ever cyber catastrophe. This small region in Germany, pretty much the town's not important or whatever, but small rural region happens to get paralyzed by a hacker attack, and people are saying people are labeling it a cyber catastrophe. So that's just going to be a new part of the language now where, just like with social distancing became part of the everyday language, they want you to get used to the word hack attacks. And, you don't have any beef because there was a hack attack on the beef plant, and, now you just have less, deal with it. And, you can't have any cars because there was a cyber attack and the machine that made the chips messed up, whatever. I know that's not the real reason for the chip shortage, but
right.
The point is they keep announcing it and then it just happens coincidentally because that's the whole plan. This is just like it's not happening, because it's happening because we told you it was going to happen. So this is supposed to happen. Don't worry. The experts all say it's going to be a thing of the future.
Right. And remember,
screwing you over.
And remember that the World Economic Forum, their idea of digital and cybersecurity is things like, with the growing challenges to counter health misinformation, violent extremist and terrorist content, and the exploitation of children online, this is an urgent need for more deliberate coordination to improve digital safety. Now, growing challenges to counter health misinformation. You know, it's
How
just
about
like
misinformation?
it's like, oh, so it's not about whether or not someone can hack into my computer or take control of all of my devices and turn the heat up and down in my house and watch my children. It's not about that. It's about you're thinking wrong, Chris. We need to fix that.
Yeah, so this is all about tightening the lid.
Anybody who thinks I'm making it up, World Economic Forum.
Yeah, it's literally on their own website. Like
I
it literally the evil group, the evil scientist group that you saw in the cartoons as a kid, they literally got their own website. They say this openly. They give speeches on live TV saying, yes, you need to have less food, you need to eat less meat, you need to drive less. Even though we're going to have our 60 car collection like Bill Gates, and we're going to be flying private jet everywhere we want. We're going to be flying private jet to pick up that environmental awareness award like Leonardo DiCaprio.
But then their counter to that is, well, I'm one person and I fly one jet, and that doesn't even come close to how much we all collectively, so it doesn't matter. It's a drop in the hat. But then when I want to fly or you want to fly, we need to think about it.
They actually had John Kerry, and they asked him that question about, oh, how come you get to fly in private jet? And he was like, well, because I'm important and I'm dealing with saving the world. And, I got to go do this to save your ass from global warming.
Right.
Like the arrogance of these people.
And the thing is, and the whole kicker to all of this is let's bring it on back. Let's circle back like a sake for a minute. we have the cybersecurity issue, all the environmental issues that everybody hates. Even if you don't agree with global warming and all that, technology has been suppressed to where we could probably have jets that run on pure, clean energy, but they're not going to let us have that. They want technology from the 1970s and 60s. That's what we have right now in our airplanes. 50-year-old technology. Why?
You can't tell
We're
me
America.
That in all these years, we're still getting 17 miles per gallon on some cars. Yeah.
Right. We should, and cybersecurity, it should be like, if someone gets hacked, it should be like, holy shit, what are you into? And how much money did they spend? And there must be international geniuses. That's what it should be if anybody gets hacked. But now the NSA and everybody puts back doors into everything. So now everything can be hacked and therefore convenient excuse to bring down the world.
All right, and let me remind you guys, a few weeks ago, in case you were asleep, there was the Colonial Pipeline attack that brought down one of the biggest pipelines in the U.S. that takes the oil from Texas to New Jersey. Then there was also the
down through there
meat packing plant, which was supposedly, I think that was like the biggest packing plant in America or the world.
But the funny thing, I'm not sure about the meat packing plant, but the Colonial Pipeline. Remember what it was about? What the cybersecurity got into and what they couldn't run?
No.
Their billing.
Billing?
They couldn't run billing, and that was it. As far as the pipeline and the operation itself was fine, and they have manual overrides anyway. So a cyber attack on the pipeline itself makes no sense. They have a crew of guys that will drive out hours and hours to these remote locations and turn these things on by hand. There's generators. There's radio that turn. There's like 4 or 5 different ways to turn these sons of bitches on. If I remember right, it's not like one computer system.
Yeah, they blame
to run them all. That's not. You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that in oil pipelines and industry. You're supposed to have multiple fail safes, And this is the problem with nobody being involved in factories and industry anymore. Nobody understands that. That there's always a fail-safe, multiple fail-safes.
Yeah. Isn't it such a coincidence that as soon as Biden's ass gets in, suddenly we have all these cyber attacks that never happened before? Or if they did, they weren't like to this scale, paralyzing.
Right,
shit.
And doesn't the president have purview over that anyway? Isn't that a national security thing? Like it's a defense. Pretty sure it's like a defense contract. It's a Department of Defense thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just saying you're right. Joe Biden's responsible.
The pipeline attack actually it caused the panic, and there was a gasoline shortage because everybody was like, "Shit, we're gonna be out of gasoline. Let me go fill up the tank." Remember, we had shortages all over Georgia and Alabama. And, if gasoline goes up, everything goes up. The cost to transport food, the cost to transport everything. And it's all very systematic. Right now, it feels like this is just the testing, probing part. Let's see how much we can get away with. How stupid are people when it comes to these hack attacks? And I'm not saying I got all the answers, but it's obviously some kind of false flag crap, where we're taking ourselves down. Because at the end of the day, you got to realize these people might be American, but they don't care about America. They're all about the one world government. They hate that we have independent nations and that we're not under one system yet.
Right. I got into an argument with somebody about like that kind of stuff, to where they thought, that if you just get a good leader in and you can convince everybody in government to do what you want if you're a smooth enough talker. And that's like pretty much as far as they elaborated. And they said because they can run a 10-man construction crew, therefore it translates into being president. And they can and they just think, you just got to be able to talk to people. And I'm just like, okay, you guys are trying to do something for a company, trying to make money so they can pay you. This is not the same thing as government. I'm like, you don't understand. These people will lose money just to destroy the country. That's their mindset. That's how indoctrinated they are. They will literally destroy themselves just to get their ideology across. They will lose their bank account. They will lose everything just to do that. And that's something conservatives and right-wingers need to learn what to do. You know what? Sorry, you don't get to buy that new boat this year. Sorry, you don't get to put that addition on your house. Sorry, you can't buy that new car. Sorry, you cannot go on that fishing trip that you wanted to go on. You need to actually put your money to where it's going to actually help the future, or else you're just being a leech. And I'm sorry to tell people that, but you are. People are always worried, I can't get into the fight. I've got too much. I just can't risk that much. And it's like, you mean your job that you pay for your 4 or 5 toys because you have payments on them? And that's what I've noticed a lot of people. They'll buy a bunch of toys and then they'll have payments and then complain they don't have money. And I'm like, shut up. I don't care.
People are weird. I don't understand. There's a lot of people that get...
We've all been taught we need a boat and a new car.
Caught up in the materialism and spending money on new gadgets, or I got a new Honk shit for my truck.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody. I mean, I spent $300, $400 on a PlayStation and games, and that's fine. But that's the only entertainment I have. I don't go get snow. I think snowmobiles, unless you're working with them, are kind of just a giant waste of money. I think 4-wheelers are the same way. Fast trucks and powerful trucks are the same way. It's a waste of money unless you're making money with it. And until I have way more money to blow, I mean, like a video game system, you can use that every day. Something to entertain yourself every day. At least if you buy an expensive phone, you use it every day. You're not just like, once in a while I jump on it for a day or two and then just put it in a drawer and forget about it. And it's just people's... And I'm just saying that to tie it all back in, people's value system of what's important and what they will actually pay attention to is very screwed up. So nobody cares about
Yes.
cyber attacks. That's a bunch of nerd shit.
Yeah, and just to make it clear, the same group that made a simulation of a pandemic simulation, they called it Event 201, that preceded the whole coronavirus outbreak. Well, now they're doing a simulation called Cyber Polygon, which is about a massive cyber pandemic attack that just happens to hit and takes down the world online systems. And then
You want me?
there's a slowdown.
You want me to read their about?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, yeah, but pretty much the same guys that said, "Oh, we have a simulation about a coronavirus outbreak," and before it happens, now we're saying, "Oh, we're having a simulation about a huge cyber attack, a cyber pandemic," and it's like they're telling you they're going to do it in your face because they're not scared.
Right. So this is cyberpolygon.com. What is CyberPolygon? CyberPolygon is a unique cybersecurity event that combines the world's largest technical training for corporate teams and an online conference featuring senior officials from international organizations and leading corporations. Every year, the training brings together a wide range of global businesses and government structures, while the live stream gathers millions of spectators from across the world. Global businesses and government structures. What does that sound like, everybody? Bilderberg.
Yes.
And strategic goals. Annual training enables organizations to assess the cyber resilience, exchange best practices, and bring tangible results to the global community. Here's their check. 4 checks. 1, develop the team's skills in repelling cyber attacks. And like I said to you earlier, who's the best person to bring down the city walls? The guard, who's always on the city wall. So, we're the good guys. Expand the practical knowledge of technical specialists. Engage the management of international organizations and corporations in the cybersecurity dialogue. International organization. These people can't even. Does organization have a Z or an S?
Z.
These fuckers can't even spell. It's ORGANISATIONS.
Maybe it's a European spelling. I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe British. Sure. Maybe British. Whatever. Like the whole color crap. Anyway, raise public awareness of cybersecurity. Doesn't sound sinister at all when corporations and governments start working together. Didn't Hitler do that?
I'm sure.
Isn't that what fascists do? Where's Antifa? Was Antifa bashing their doors down? Because this sounds like fascism.
Government running like the business. The businesses.
Businesses running the government.
It's kind of the same thing because it's like a revolving door, and like people go from the FDA.
Like Petraeus. Like Petraeus going from like the military to Lockheed, and then like Raytheon and all that, and then coming back in. It's like, I wonder what you're doing, bud.
Right. Yeah, so everybody get ready because the cyber attacks are coming, and they're telling you right now. This is just like we told you it was going to happen, so, nothing to worry about. It's on the plan. It's on the guidebook. It's all part of the plan. It's part of the show. This was supposed to happen.
Right. And they never make it to where it's never like, oh, here's what's going to happen, and you need to figure something out. It's, here, we're going to figure it out for you, and we're the only ones who can figure it out.
Right. Exactly. And it's so weird how it just plays into their Great Reset, wet dreams about Everybody needs to eat less, have less, drive
Right.
less, move less, less
And,
energy, less human activity. It just fits right into their
one of the
world vision.
and remember, people, one of the biggest places where cyber attacks come from, and you get cyber attacks from government to governments and all that, and corporations, is Israel. And what did Joe Biden just do? He just literally bowed to the prime minister of Israel.
Oh yeah, let's get that real quick.
So
That
yeah,
was
let's add that on a little nugget on top. It's like literally
so
bowing.
That
Bowing.
was so weird.
I mean, okay, Trump, I have my problem with him, but I like how he like handled the Queen of England. Just kind of like stood over, like whatever, walked in front of her when you're not supposed to do that. Dude, that's what I would have done. I wouldn't have like I wouldn't have done anything. I'm sure they told him he needs to bow at some point. And he was like,
But that's so weird. Like, why would you bow as the president of the United States? Bowing?
I'm not a citizen of the country. So I wouldn't. Oh shit.
What? What happened? We lose you? Okay, Wesley Boyd is temporarily out. He'll be back in a few seconds. In the meantime, let me get that video of Biden on his knees. And yeah, he got on his knees to the Israel president, which is pretty weird. Yeah, Wesley, you there? Mike? Joe Biden is a loser. Joe Biden is a loser. And yeah, we will continue to fight the New World Order. I think I might have to end it here because Wesley's not. Either way, we'll be having more videos and uploads. This is a new series of short segments we're doing. And guys, be on the lookout for them. They're going to be like 15, 20-minute clips. And then we'll be uploading them to Rumble. And so also subscribe to Decide West Side, Locals, Rumble, Minds, Gab. For sure, Gab and Rumble are the ones we're trying to hit. Of course, we're also on Twitter and YouTube. But for YouTube, do Blessings 777. That's the main one we're trying to promote right now. Blessings 77 for YouTube. 777. And Rumble, just outside. Gab outside. What's up?
Not much.
I was actually doing the outro, but
All right.
let me look for that. I was looking for that Biden on his knees video, which I think would end on that note. It's so weird how. Why would the president of the United States do that to Israel? I mean, that can get really shady real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay. No, you're right. I was on the browsing this.
Yeah,
and all
no,
the
it's
fact checkers are like saying it's fake, even though
he
that's
was
pretty real.
literally on his knees pledging allegiance. It wasn't to Israel. It was like against anti-Semitism or some shit like that. Whatever,
Maybe
which
Israel
is
got him that blackmail.
no, that he's just prostrating himself, I think. Well, they might. You're right, but it's like I think he's more prostrating himself, like just showing his belly to the world,
And
because
even
that's what
like
America's
the
supposed to be
guy,
right now.
the other guy was laughing like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?"
Right.
Like, dude,
What happened? Right.
here it is.
What? Yeah. What happened, dude? Yeah. It's like what happened when Trump was at all these meetings and he wouldn't like. He just wouldn't. They were like, it was like you could tell there's a pecking order, and Trump didn't care. He's just like, I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna be the president. Yeah. Okay. But aren't you glad the mean tweets are over? Aren't you glad the Twitter crap's over? That's what I heard a lot of conservatives say. Just the Twitter bullshit, bro. It's just like, okay, so that's what you have a problem with?
Didn't even understand it.
I know they don't. They don't.
I hate that a lot of people, when there's something new and they don't know like how to stand on it, they'll turn on Fox News, and if Fox News says, "Well, I think the president needs to be more presidential," and
be more presidential.
Get off Twitter. Do your work.
What do you mean more presidential? You mean a duel on the front lawn? A boxing match in the White House? I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
LBJ, I don't like it, but I mean, he used the N-word constantly in the White House. He'd berate women. He'd be drunk as fuck. Like same thing with Hoover. He'd be drunker than a skunk, just fucking tearing out the White House.
I heard he would also flash his giving to everybody.
FDR was an asshole. FDR was horrible to the White House staff.
Dang, really?
Yeah, he was bitter that he was going crippled. They couldn't walk, so he took it out on everybody around him. Dang. And then he wanted to start a war. He wanted to get into World War II so he could be the big man on campus and save everybody. Because he has a real. I think he had a complex, and they worked him.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But everybody decide what side, subscribe, like, share, comment, and remember, we told you here, cyber attacks are coming, and this is not because we're psychics. It's just they're literally telling you. I mean, it doesn't get more clear than that.
Read the Anglo-American establishment.
Yeah, and actually,
technology will let us take down the world. It tells you how they're going to take control of technology so it can bring down the world later. How they're going to interconnect how they're going to interconnect the world through electronics.
And there's actually a Spark Notes on there that I'm just barely starting to get into, which makes it's kind of like the easy shortcut way, but still better than nothing.
I used a lot of references, and I go to the pages I need. Because like the first 20, 30, the first freaking chapter and a half is like talking about who's who and where they and what did this and what did that, just random names, just being very academic about it.
Yeah, it's like let's confuse